The test is over, chosen one. For so long you have felt as though every step was a challenge, every day a trial, and every moment a question hanging in the air. You walked through fire, through shadow, through silence, and through storms that few could even imagine, and yet you are still here. There were times you wondered if you could endure. There were nights when your heart whispered to you that perhaps the struggle would never end. But it did. And now you are standing at the threshold of revelation. The heaviness you carried, the burden of not knowing, is about to dissolve into light. You have been refined, prepared, shaped, and strengthened, not for destruction, but for unveiling. Now is the moment when the curtain begins to lift, when what has been hidden from you starts to unfold before your eyes, and when the truth of who you are and why you have been chosen begins to rise from the depths of silence into clarity. And before we step fully into this journey of revelation together, I ask you to stay with me until the very end of this message. Let these words wash over you, for they carry an energy meant for your soul. At the close of this message, I invite you to do something powerful. Write your warmest wishes and the number 66 in the comments below. This is not a small gesture, for your wish carries energy, and when spoken, written, or shared, it vibrates into the fabric of the universe. Together, when many chosen ones release their wishes into the world, the vibration amplifies. It is a current of intention that does not fade. It expands, it manifests, it energizes reality itself. That is why you are not just watching. You are participating in a movement of creation, a flow of destiny that grows stronger with every heart that dares to believe. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble into this moment by mistake. Every step that led you to these words, every twist and turn, every delay, every heartbreak, and every victory was a design. The test you endured was not to destroy you, but to reveal you. It was to strip away illusions, to cut ties with what could no longer remain, and to awaken the truth that has always been sleeping within you. Many people live their lives asleep. They chase after what fades. They cling to what breaks. They pour themselves into things that never last. And in the end, they wonder why their hearts still feel empty. But you were not permitted to remain asleep. That is why your path was harder. That is why you could not simply settle into the ordinary. You had to be set apart, called higher, purified by fire, until the false layers fell away and the essence of your soul stood radiant and unshaken. There is something different about the chosen one. While the world shouts, the chosen one listens. While the masses move blindly, the chosen one discerns. While others grasp for control, the chosen one learns to surrender to the higher flow. And this surrender is not weakness. It is strength beyond measure. For to release control is to align with the truth that is greater than you, the wisdom that is deeper than the surface, the current that knows where you must go even when you do not. And in your surrender, you discovered resilience. You discovered that even when everything around you seemed to crumble, there was still something unbreakable within you. That unbreakable thing is your essence, your calling, your light. The revelation that is coming to you is not small. It is not fleeting. It is not an empty promise or a shallow hope. It is the unveiling of purpose, the breaking open of clarity, the shining of light on paths that once seemed hidden. You have been searching, and now the search begins to shift. What was locked away is being unlocked. What was confusing is being simplified. What seemed impossible is revealing itself as the very thing you were meant to accomplish. The tests were never for nothing. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every rejection, every loss, every tear, each was a piece of the refining process. It was a sculptor's hand shaping the clay, removing what did not belong, carving away what was never meant to remain, until the form of destiny could begin to emerge. You might wonder why it took so long, why the waiting stretched on for years, why the pain seemed unending, why the struggle repeated itself in cycles that felt unbearable. But now you are beginning to see. The delay was not denial. The silence was not abandonment. The difficulty was not punishment. It was preparation. It was alignment. It was the unfolding of timing far beyond your understanding. A seed does not sprout the moment it is placed in the soil. It takes darkness, hiddenness, water, and time before it emerges into light. In the same way, you were placed in a soil of trial, buried in difficulty, hidden in obscurity, surrounded by darkness. But within you, roots were forming, strength was growing, the unseen work was being completed. And now, like a seed breaking through the earth, you are rising into the light of revelation. The revelation is not simply knowledge. It is not just understanding with your mind. It is awakening with your spirit. It is seeing with new eyes. It is perceiving what you could not perceive before. It is the lifting of fog from the landscape of your destiny. And when the fog lifts, you will understand why you had to walk through what you walked through. The pieces will begin to fit. The story will begin to make sense. The confusion will give way to clarity, and the exhaustion will begin to transform into a quiet but unshakable strength. The revelation is not the end. It is the beginning of the next chapter. A chapter in which you live as the person you were always meant to become, not burdened by the old shadows, but radiant with the light that was always within you. For the chosen one, revelation does not come without responsibility. It is not just for your comfort, your peace, or your clarity. It is also for the lives connected to you, for the people you are meant to inspire, uplift, guide, or bless. That is why the test was so heavy. It was never just about you. You were being shaped into a vessel that could carry more than your own weight. You were being strengthened so that when the time came, you could stand not only for yourself, but for others. You are stepping into a place where your words, your actions, your presence, and your essence will carry a weight of influence you may not even yet comprehend. This is why you could not quit, why you could not give up, why you had to keep going even when it seemed impossible. Because the revelation is not just yours, it is for those whose lives you will touch in ways you may never even fully see. And this is only the beginning. The revelation continues to unfold, and with it comes a new awareness of your own strength. You once thought that strength was measured only by how much you could endure, how much you could hold, and how long you could keep standing when the world pressed down upon you. But now you begin to see that strength is more than endurance. Strength is clarity. Strength is the wisdom to know when to release what no longer serves you. Strength is the courage to step into the unknown when everything within you wants to cling to what is familiar. Strength is the quiet fire that does not always roar but never burns out. The revelation shows you that true strength is not born in ease. It is born in trial. And the trials you faced have now given way to the strength that will sustain you in the chapter ahead. You have not been wandering aimlessly. even though at times it may have felt like it. Every detour had meaning. Every closed door had purpose. Every delay was an alignment of timing that was bigger than your perspective. The revelation teaches you that the universe does not waste your pain. It does not discard your tears. It does not ignore the nights you felt unseen. Each of these became a thread in the greater design, woven together to create the fabric of your destiny. When you look back, you may not understand every detail, but you will feel the truth. Nothing was wasted. Everything prepared you for now. And in this moment, you begin to see that even what you once called loss was actually a hidden form of protection, a redirection that saved you from what you did not need to carry. The unveiling is not sudden like lightning. It is steady, like dawn breaking over the horizon. At first, the light touches only the edges, revealing outlines and shapes. Then, as the minutes pass, more becomes clear. The shadows shrink. The path becomes visible. In the same way, the revelation will come to you. Slowly at first, gently at first, but steadily, until what was hidden is clear, until what was uncertain becomes undeniable. And just as dawn cannot be reversed, the revelation that has begun cannot be stopped. It will grow brighter. It will spread wider. It will cover every part of your life with clarity and truth. But understand this: the revelation is not always comfortable. It does not only reveal what you long to see, it also reveals what you may have been avoiding. It brings to light not only your strength, but also the illusions you once clung to. It shows you the relationships that cannot continue with you into the next season. It exposes the beliefs that have weighed you down, the habits that have drained your spirit, and the patterns that no longer align with your higher purpose. At first, this may sting. At first, it may feel like loss. But the truth is, revelation never takes without giving. It never exposes without also healing. It never removes without also replacing. For everything that falls away in this season, something greater will rise in its place. The chosen one does not resist this process. You have already learned that resistance only deepens the struggle. Instead, you allow. You allow what needs to fall to fall. You allow that what needs to rise to rise. You trust that the same force that carried you through the test is the same force guiding you into the revelation. And as you trust, you discover a new kind of freedom. It is not the freedom of control, but the freedom of alignment. It is the freedom of no longer needing to force, to strive, to chase, to cling. It is the freedom of moving with the current of destiny instead of against it. And in this flow, you find peace. The revelation also awakens something within you that had been dormant. Vision. You are no longer simply surviving, no longer simply enduring, no longer simply waiting. You begin to see the outlines of the life you are meant to build, the paths you are meant to walk, the doors you are meant to open. You realize that you are not just a passenger in this journey. You are a co-creator. Your thoughts, your words, your intentions, your actions, they shape reality. They influence the unfolding. They are seeds planted into the soil of the universe. And now that you are stepping into revelation, your vision becomes sharper. You see more clearly what you are meant to create, and the energy of creation begins to flow more powerfully through you. The revelation does not only affect you internally, it radiates outward. Others will notice something has changed in you, even if they cannot explain it. They will feel it in your presence, in your words, in the way you move through the world. Some will be drawn to it. Others may resist it. Some will recognize your transformation as inspiration. Others may see it as a challenge to their own comfort. But regardless of how others respond, your role is not to shrink. Your role is to shine. Your role is to carry the light of revelation with humility, with grace, and with unshakable courage. For you did not go through the test to return to smallness. You endured the test so you could embody the fullness of who you are meant to be. In this season of revelation, synchronicities will become more frequent. Doors will open with unexpected ease. Encounters will carry deeper meaning. You will begin to notice patterns, signs, and alignments that once you might have overlooked. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the universe whispering to you, reminding you that you are on the right path, that you are in alignment, that the revelation is unfolding exactly as it should. Pay attention. Listen closely. Trust the subtle nudges. For often, the greatest truths come not in thunder, but in whispers. And still, even with all of this, you must remember, revelation is not a destination. It is a beginning. It is the opening of a new chapter, not the end of the story. You are stepping into something vast, something profound, something that will continue to unfold day by day. There will still be challenges, for challenge is part of growth. But the challenges ahead will not break you the way they once did. For now you carry the clarity of revelation. Now you know that the storms cannot last forever. Now you know that every ending is a beginning in disguise. Now you know that even in silence, you are not alone. You are not the same as you were before the test began. You are not the same as you were even yesterday. You are rising into a higher version of yourself, carrying wisdom that can only be gained by walking through fire and coming out refined. This wisdom is not just for you, it is for the world. It is for those who will cross your path, for those who will hear your voice, for those who will be touched by your presence. The revelation is the gift you now carry, and how you choose to share it will shape not only your destiny, but the destiny of those connected to you. And so, chosen one, continue forward with courage. Continue forward with trust. Continue forward with the quiet confidence that everything has prepared you for this moment, and that this moment is only the beginning of something greater than you can yet imagine. The revelation is here. The test is over. The path ahead is opening, and you are ready to walk it, not in fear, but in power, in clarity, and in unshakable truth. The deeper you move into revelation, the more you begin to recognize that what has been awakened within you is not temporary, it is permanent. Once your eyes have opened, they cannot close again in the same way. Once your spirit has expanded, it cannot shrink back into its old form. You carry within you now a new awareness, and this awareness will guide every decision, every step, every encounter. The old ways of seeing, the old ways of living, the old ways of responding no longer fit you. You cannot return to what you once were, because what you once were has already dissolved in the fire of your trials. You have emerged different, transformed, awakened, and there is no going back. This is the essence of revelation. It does not just give you answers, it changes your very being. It does not only point to the path ahead, it transforms the one who walks the path. And as you walk forward, you begin to realize that you are not only receiving revelation, you are becoming revelation. Your life itself becomes a message, a sign, a light, that others can witness. Your journey, your endurance, your transformation, it all speaks silently, powerfully to those who encounter you. And without even trying, you will inspire, you will awaken, you will ignite something in the hearts of others. Yet with this revelation comes a new kind of responsibility. The responsibility is not heavy, not in the way the test once was, but it is profound. It is the responsibility of authenticity. You can no longer pretend to be what you are not. You can no longer dim your light to make others comfortable. You can no longer live in shadows of fear or doubt, because you now know the truth. You are meant to shine. Authenticity is not about perfection. It is about alignment. It is about allowing your inner truth to guide your outer life, allowing your soul to guide your steps, allowing your essence to be expressed without apology. This is the responsibility of the chosen one, to embody truth in a world that so often runs from it. You will notice that as revelation deepens, certain things will naturally fall away. You will not need to force them to leave, nor will you have to chase them away. They will simply dissolve, as though they no longer have a place in your reality. People, habits, patterns, even dreams that no longer align with your true essence will quietly fade. At first, you may be tempted to hold on. At first, you may feel the sting of release, but in time you will understand that letting go is not loss. It is clearing space for what is truly meant for you. Every ending clears the ground for a new beginning. Every release opens your hands to receive what is greater. And the revelation teaches you to trust this process, to trust that what leaves is making room for what must come. There will be moments when revelation feels overwhelming. The flood of awareness, the intensity of clarity, the weight of responsibility. It can feel like too much at once. In those moments, remember that you are not required to carry it all alone. You are part of a greater flow, a greater design, a greater energy that holds you even when you feel small. You are not asked to do everything in one day, nor to understand everything at once. You are simply asked to walk forward, step by step, breath by breath, carrying the light that you have been given. The rest will unfold in its time. Revelation also awakens a sense of destiny within you. Not destiny in the sense of something forced, not destiny as a rigid script you must follow, but destiny as alignment with your truest self. You begin to feel that your steps are not random, that your life is not a collection of accidents, that your existence carries weight. You sense that there is a purpose woven into the fabric of who you are, and that purpose is now calling you forward more strongly than ever before. This is not a calling you can ignore. It will echo in your spirit. It will stir in your dreams. It will rise within you in moments of silence. And the more you listen, the more it will guide you into places and opportunities you could never have imagined on your own. Understand this. Destiny is not about doing what others expect. It is not about following the patterns that others have laid out for you. It is about answering the call that is uniquely yours. It is about stepping into the path that was carved only for you. It is about being unafraid to walk a road that may look different, that may feel lonely at times, but that leads to the fulfillment of what you were always meant to become. The revelation helps you hear that call more clearly, and the courage you gained in your test helps you answer it without fear. And in this new place, you will discover something unexpected. Joy. Not the fleeting joy that depends on circumstances, not the fragile joy that comes and goes with the ups and downs of life, but a deeper joy. a joy that flows from within, a joy that is steady even in the midst of storms, a joy that is not shaken by what happens outside of you, because it is rooted in the truth that now lives inside of you. This joy is the gift of revelation, the quiet song of your soul reminding you that you are aligned, that you are walking the path you were meant to walk, that you are exactly where you need to be. Others will notice this joy. They will see it in your eyes, hear it in your voice, feel it in your presence. And without you even trying, it will awaken something in them. It will remind them that such joy is possible, that such peace is real, that such clarity exists. This is part of the ripple effect of revelation. It does not stay within you. It flows outward. It spreads like light breaking into darkness, like ripples expanding across water. You cannot contain it, and you are not meant to. For what you have been given is not only for you, it is for the world. And so, chosen one, continue to walk in this revelation with courage and grace. Do not rush. Do not force. Do not fear. Allow the light to guide you. Allow the truth to transform you. Allow the joy to sustain you. You have been tested. You have endured. And now you are awakening into the fullness of what was always meant to be. The revelation is not a moment. It is a journey. And as you continue on this journey, you will see more, know more, and become more than you ever imagined. This is only the beginning of what is to come. The path of revelation deepens, and as it does, something begins to shift inside of you that cannot be ignored. You start to feel as though you are no longer who you once were. The reflection in the mirror may look the same, but the essence has changed. You feel lighter in ways that are difficult to explain. You feel stronger, not because your body is unbreakable, but because your spirit is steady. There is a quiet confidence building in you, a knowing that you cannot be shaken from. And this inner knowing begins to shape the way you see the world, the way you interact with others, and the way you carry yourself through each moment. Revelation teaches you that life is not just about surviving. Survival was the test. Survival was the stage where you proved to yourself that you could endure the darkest storms. But now, you are stepping into something higher, living, not merely surviving. Living with intention, living with purpose, living with awareness. Every breath becomes sacred. Every step becomes meaningful. Every encounter becomes a chance to express the truth that now flows from within you. You are not here to simply endure time. You are here to embody light. This shift will not always be easy for others to understand. Some will question why you have changed. Some may resist the new version of you because it challenges their own patterns. Others may distance themselves because your growth highlights their stagnation. This is not a reason for you to shrink. This is a reason to stand tall. You cannot live in revelation and still fit into the molds of the past. You cannot carry truth and still live in the illusions that once surrounded you. This is the cost of growth, but it is also the gift of freedom. Those who are meant to walk with you in this season will align naturally. Those who are not will fall away naturally. Trust this process. Trust that the shifting of relationships is part of the unfolding of destiny. As the revelation grows, you begin to notice something extraordinary. You are more in tune with the flow of life itself. You sense when to act and when to wait. You feel when to speak and when to remain silent. You recognize when a door is meant for you and when it is not. The confusion that once clouded your judgment begins to fade. The doubt that once weighed heavily on your decisions begins to lift. In its place is clarity, not always about the entire journey, but always about the next step. And that is enough. For revelation does not give you every answer at once. It gives you light for the path ahead, step by step, moment by moment. This new clarity awakens within you a deeper trust. You trust that even when the path twists, even when fog settles in again for a season, even when things do not make sense in the moment, there is still a higher design at work. You trust that every experience is shaping you. Every encounter has meaning. Every delay carries purpose. This trust allows you to release anxiety, to release the need to control, to release the constant fear of the unknown. Instead, you begin to walk with a calm assurance that whatever comes, you are equipped, you are guided, and you are prepared. And with this trust comes freedom. Freedom from the weight of expectations that once chained you. Freedom from the fear of failure that once held you back. Freedom from the voices that once told you that you were not enough. You now understand that your worth was never measured by what others thought, by what you achieved, or by how much you endured. Your worth is woven into the fabric of who you are. It cannot be diminished. It cannot be erased. And this realization frees you to live without apology, to create without fear, to step boldly into the unknown with confidence that you are supported. Revelation also shifts the way you see time. No longer do you feel rushed, as though you are behind, as though you are racing against an invisible clock. You realize now that you are exactly where you need to be, that the timing of your life is not a mistake, that even the detours were part of the alignment. This brings peace to your heart, for you no longer compare your journey to others. You no longer measure your worth against the pace of the world. Instead, you walk in your own rhythm, in your own timing, in your own flow. And in this rhythm, life feels less like a battle and more like a dance. And as you surrender to this dance, you find harmony where once there was struggle, meaning where once there was confusion, and beauty where once there was only weight. The rhythm of your own path becomes the music that carries you forward, and in that flow you discover that life was never meant to be a race. It was always meant to be a revelation of who you truly are, unfolding in perfect time.